I'm leaving my husband because I found out that he has been making fun of me behind my back to his ex. Plus update. Original post. My husband, male 45 and I, female 36, met about 6 years ago. We have been married for 1 year. When we met, I was very fit and athletic. I started gaining weight, however, after suffering 2 miscarriages and the loss of my mother to cancer. I was very depressed and barely got out of bed if not to go to work. I stopped exercising and instead started eating junk food. I gained 40 pounds in 2 years, 2019 to 2020. Under this time, my husband, then fiancé, was very supportive and loving. I felt guilty and tried to give him an out several times, but instead, he proposed and we got married last summer. Since our marriage, I have been feeling much better and it showed. I've lost around 20 pounds so far and I gained back my muscles and abs. He was so happy to see me feeling better. On his computer, however, it was totally a different story. He was talking almost under our entire relationship to his ex-wife about me. His ex-wife, female 46, left him about 4 to 8 years ago for her colleague. The relationship didn't work, however, and she tried to get back together with my husband. He has already met me, but they stayed friends, mostly via chat, texting since she lives 12 hours away. My husband was complaining about everything about me. My job, my depression, my cooking, but mostly about my weight. He was telling her how disgusting I was to him, how he even found it hard to share the same bed since I snored like a dog. He sent her pictures of me while sleeping, sometimes in underwear with comments about my belly, double chin, back boobs, etc. She found these pictures extremely amusing, and she came up with the name White Whale. They both found it hilarious, and now this is what they referred to me as. They don't flirt exactly, or talk about being together or starting an affair, but they do say they miss each other, and they reminisce about the time they were married. She's more flirtatious, and he really enjoys it. Whatever is telling her isn't what I have experienced with him. I don't disgust him. He tells me that he loves me all the time. We have great and passionate bedroom fun, and the way he touches and makes love to me is so great. He must be a really good actor if he was in reality disgusted by me. And he hates the few times we have to sleep apart. He's lying and I don't know why he's doing it. He's lying to one of us, and I'm not sure if I want to know who he's lying to and why. I decided to get out of this marriage and leave this behind me. Right now, I'm acting like everything is normal, but I have started looking for a new job in another city and a place to rent. I also started with birth control pills in case something happens between us, and I have talked to a lawyer to prepare the divorce and start the process once I'm gone. One thing I'm not going to do is fall back into depression and weight gain. I will not allow it. What a waste of love he has been. Edit. I can't believe I need to explain this about the birth control pills. Very simple explanation. Up until I went through his messenger, I loved and trusted this guy. We had a great intimate life and we were trying to conceive. When I read what he has written and the way he took pictures of me sleeping, something happened inside of me, like I don't know this person in front of me anymore. I can't read his face and I don't trust him. I don't know how long I'm going to need to stay under the same roof as him. I don't know what his reaction would be if I refused him under a long period of time with no real excuse. I don't know what else is capable of besides taking pictures of sleeping people. I don't know if I, in a moment of weakness, succumb to lust or if he for a moment could fool me that he actually loved me. For all these reasons and many darker scenarios I have played in my head, I'm taking extra precautions. Anyone with an IQ of a chicken could understand that, or so I hope. Thank you everyone for the support. I will update you when I know more about where I'm headed. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Well, at least he is giving you a quick way to lose some dead weight. What an a-hole. You will be much better off without him. Right, she's about to excise a 160 plus pounds malignant tumor. That's living well all by itself. I don't know why, but it never ceases to amaze me how quietly cruel spouses can be behind the other's back. Good luck, OP. You're smart and deserve a much better life. Go get it. I'm so happy you have the fight in you. He needs to go play weird, messed up games with his wretched ex. I'm not, and I will never be that thin. I knew I was with one of the good ones when I was over at my boyfriend's, and he thought I was asleep. But I got up to use the bathroom and overheard him talking to his friends online while they were playing Halo in his living room. He said something along the lines of, "No, she's not thin at all actually. Why?" And I think to myself, oh, here we go. When he straightens up and goes, "What? No, actually it's great. She's so great to cuddle with. She's always super warm and I'm always freezing. Also, when we go out, she actually wants to eat real food. Plus her boobs, man. The huge skinny girls don't get fronts like that. I know they're real." At that point, I walked over and gave him a kiss. He was super embarrassed I had overheard him. "I'm so proud of you for leaving. Stick to your plan and be done with him. I can't even fathom the gut punch reading white whale was. Definitely make sure to screenshot and print out the conversations for when you make your exit. Block him, block his family if need be, because you never know what kind of crazy story he could make up. And most importantly, take care of yourself. We're rooting for you." It was this picture of me with my belly hanging out while sleeping on my side that earned me the nickname the White Whale. Sharing a photo someone did not give permission for, let alone taking the photo, is a huge violation. I'm sorry, such an ass. I applaud you resolving plans. He didn't deserve you. I would suggest printing out the emails, then leave them on the kitchen counter with your house keys and wedding band when you leave. Leave while it's not there. If that's how he wants to behave, let him see that you left him because of it. I will probably do that, yeah. I don't want to confront him now that I'm still living with him. But once I'm out, it's probably the easiest way to explain why. Print his conversations and hand it to him. How are you going to keep up the ruse though until you leave? Do you think at some point he will notice and will start asking questions? By the way, I totally think you are a superwoman and support you in what you've accomplished and what you are doing. And now for the update. Hi again. I don't know how to make an update, but my original post is in my profile. But I'm feeling happy, so happy for the first time in weeks. And I wanted to share that with you since many of you supported me and requested an update. I thought it would be the decent thing to do. So, here comes nothing. I didn't pry or spy on my husband. I used his MacBook to do some work, and he had forgotten to log out from Facebook and Messenger. He has never given me any reason to spy on him. After I found out, however, I would occasionally check his phone, maybe hoping that it was all a bad joke. He continued complaining anyhow, and now he was telling her I was being distant and cold in manner and that he was tired of me. He even lied and told her I was gaining even more weight, even though I'm not. He told her we weren't being intimate anymore. I avoided him because he couldn't find it under the rolls of fat, a joke that she highly appreciated. I didn't spy after that. I got the confirmation I needed. In the meantime, he acted a worried husband with me, concerned about me and asking if I was going through a new depression. He told me he loved me and that he was there for me. He did everything like previous times I had dips. Called from work, came home with takeouts from my favorite restaurants, did all the cleaning and washing around the house, baked fresh bread in the mornings, flowers and chocolate, and asked me if I wanted to go for a nighttime drive/walks. He used to take me for a drive the nights I was feeling very down and depressed. How can anyone be so two-faced? I have my big sister who lives in another city. I told her that I was leaving my husband and that I was looking for jobs in her city. My sister is married and she lives with her husband and daughter in a big house, and she offered me one of her spare bedrooms. I got a few job interviews, and one of them turned into an offer. It's not exactly my field of work, and it came with a significant decrease in salary. But I thought about it, and it's a good start until something more suitable comes up. I didn't want to prolong my stay with him any longer, and a decrease in income is a good sacrifice. Plus, I'm going to have lower rent, and I'm selling my car since the new job is a walking distance from my sister's house. No more worry about the crazy gas prices. My new job starts on October 1st. I'm working my notice period for my computer. The 2 months between jobs, I'm just going to have fun and work on myself. I took my name off the lease, but I'm going to pay 2 more months. I left him last Sunday. The night before, I prepared a very nice dinner and I effed his brains out all night. It felt so good to hear him whispering how much he loved me and how lucky he was to have me. In the morning, I left the divorce papers and my attorney's number in the kitchen. When I got to my sister, I finally could tell her and the rest of my family about everything. I showed them all his conversations and even the pictures he's taken of me, and now they're all angry at him. He has been calling and texting obsessively, but he doesn't know where I live now. Emailed, DM, even went to my parents, but they just shunned him at the door and advised him to let me go. Maybe he knows now because he's been asking to explain and apologize, etc. I don't care. All I've texted back is that if he wants to convey a message, he could do it through my lawyer. Edit, my parents were divorced and both remarried. Mom passed away almost 3 years ago. I went to Dad's house looking for me. Dad lives there with my stepmom and 2 of my sisters. This is the update I'm waiting for. I feel glad for you. Thank you. It feels like a big weight has lifted off my chest when I finally left our apartment. Best update I've read in a while. Such a satisfying conclusion to an otherwise horrific situation. Imagine being such a loser that you feel the need to validate your cheating ex-wife by saying despicable things about your current not cheating wife. Dude is a chump. You're better off, OP. Rooting for you. Exactly. I've known and even been in a long-term relationship with people like that, who will do anything to try to impress the people in their lives that treat them the worst, while neglecting and taking advantage of the people in their lives that treat them the best. I'm sure it's some kind of psychological disorder with its roots in some kind of childhood trauma, but it's not one that's worth your time to try to help the other person work through. Because the amount of damage these people can cause you in their desperation to be accepted by people that treat them like trash isn't something that you can just get over. Heck yes. Explain? What the heck is there to explain? I'm glad to hear you ditched him. How can someone be so two-faced? He wants an opportunity to weasel his way back in and pay money to read the messages he is now sending his ex. How do you spin being dumped like a sad sack? Now, for the last story, my brother is gaslighting the heck out of his wife. What can I do about it? I know gaslighting is a term that gets thrown around a lot lately, so please correct me if I'm not using it right, but I think I am. So to start, I'm 23 years old female. My brother is 34 years old and he's married to a girl who is 21 years old. They have 3 kids together. He treats her like crap. And no matter what I say to her, she'll just make excuses for it. She'll say he's tired from work or whatever. And it reached to a point where if I talk too badly about him, she'll get annoyed with me and stop talking to me for a while. Anyway, I recently heard he cheated on her. The person who told me is a reliable source, so I'm sure he did cheat. But I don't have any solid proof. I still don't know if I should say something to her or not since I don't have proof. She's talked to me a few times about things she's noticed off, that I've told her were red flags that she should look into. One of the things was his longer hours at work. She said she was talking to one of his coworkers' wife and mentioned how hard the longer hours have been. The wife had no idea what she was talking about as her husband wasn't working any extra hours. I told her that was weird and she should look into it. She ended up asking my brother and he gave her a BS excuse about how just his department was working late. I pointed out the husband of the woman she talked to worked in the same department as my brother. She was just like, oh, I'm sure there are smaller inner departments we don't know about. Then she found texts on his phone, like straight up cheating texts. She confronted him about it, and he said it was one of his coworkers texting his girlfriend from his phone. The last thing I'm putting, there are more but I don't have the room for them all, is that she found a ring in their SUV that he used when his truck was in the shop. He claimed it was mine. It must have fallen off when I used the car to pick up their kids. She went to return it to me and I told her it wasn't mine. When she asked my brother again, he told her he hadn't meant me. He meant our other sister or one of her friends, but she never picked up the kids. None of them even have their licenses. So why would he have said she used the car to pick up the kids? And that's when the ring got in there if she never has before? How can I get her to snap out of it without getting her mad? I really don't have much of a relationship with my brother, to be honest. I have a relationship with her because we were both in cheer together in high school. Editing in to say that she has her own job and income that she can support herself on. I don't know why people are assuming she doesn't. Now for the advice. Honestly, she's so manipulated I don't think you can help her. Just make sure she knows you're there and on her side if she ever decides to leave. If you keep pushing her, then she'll go no contact with you and might feel too scared to come to you for help when she wants to leave. Okay, thanks. It just sucks seeing it. Your 34-year-old brother already has 3 kids with a 21-year-old? When did they get together? May not be illegal, but sounds like textbook grooming and manipulation on your brother's part. 3 kids are about 3 years back, meaning they got together when he was 31 and she was 18. That's legal, but often seen as problematic due to the power imbalances. Sorry, I know you didn't ask about that, but just that alone is a red flag. As for gaslighting is the intent to cause someone to think they are crazy. I think here, he's only being defensive, which is awful in its own right as it can cause a gaslighting-like impact. But it isn't gaslighting unless he means to make her doubt her sanity. And I'm not sure if that's the case. Anyway, I'd suggest Googling how to support someone in an emotionally abusive relationship and read some articles for tips. Mostly, though, it comes down to active listening skills. As often, it's hard for the victims to take advice because they're so confused as is. So it's more helpful to use active listening skills to help them figure out their own feelings, which will empower them to trust and value themselves more. This helps them a lot, as lack of trusting and valuing themselves is often what makes it hard for them to leave. Thanks for that clarification. Yeah, they started officially dating when she was 18. Officially. Yeah, I doubt I know the full story. She should be tested for STDs. Other than that, you need to step back. You have tried. She will listen when she's ready. The best thing you can do short-term for her is get her an appointment with an OB/GYN or community health clinic to get tested. Long-term, it is clear she is vulnerable with low self-esteem and so she has blinders on. It will take more than just you for her to see the light. What do her parents say about this situation? Your parents? Your other sister? Her siblings? Her friends? It will take a large circle of support for her to see reason. If it's just you versus your brother, she's going to stick with him because she's blindsided by their relationship. You need to figure out who else she is close to that can be trusted and help you support her.